Good morning, students. Today we are going to deal chapter 2 whole numbers. Up to session 15 we have completed exercise 2.1. What are the things we have discussed in 2.1? We have seen what is a whole number, what is the difference between whole number and natural number. We have seen successor. Successor means before, after number, or you have to add 1 to the given number. Predecessor means before number, or you have to subtract 1 from the given number. And we have seen number line, right? Addition in number line and subtraction in number line. So in this chapter, in this exercise 2.2, we are going to deal with properties. Okay, what are all the properties in whole number? Normally it satisfies for all the numbers. Now let us see only for whole number. The first property is closure property. Closure property. C-L-O-S-U-R-E. Closure property. The second one is associative property. And the next one is commutative property. And the final one is distributive property. Okay, so there are 4 properties, namely closure property, associative property, commutative property and distributive property. We will see each one in detail with examples. Okay, now let us move on to closure property first. Now A plus B is equal to C. This is our closure property in addition. This is for addition. Closure spelling C-L-O-S-U-R-E. Closure property. So for addition, A plus B is equal to C. I am going to choose 3 variables A, B and C. Okay. So what is my closure property is the sum of 2 whole numbers should be a whole number. If it is a whole number, the closure property is satisfied. If it is not a whole number, then the closure property is not satisfied. Okay. So now listen, A, B. These 2 numbers should be a whole number. What is a whole number? Whole number is represented with the letter W and it starts with 0, 1, 2, etc. and goes on up to infinity. You are going to choose any 2 numbers in between 0 and infinity. You can choose also 0 you can choose. So 0 to infinity you are going to choose any 2 numbers. If you are choosing any 2 numbers, that is for A one number and B one number, if you add those 2 numbers, your answer should be C, which is also a whole number. Okay, can you understand? So listen, let us take 11. A is equal to 11, B is equal to 2. Let us take this. So A plus B is equal to C I have to get. So A plus B is equal to C. A is a whole number, comma B is a whole number. Then the addition of both. What is the addition of 11 and 2? It is 13. So 11 plus 2 is equal to 13. So the addition of these 2 numbers should also be a whole number. So the addition property satisfies. Whatever number you take in between 0 and infinity, your addition will get satisfied. Therefore, closure property is satisfied under addition. Can you understand? Again I will tell you, closure property spelling C-L-O-S-U-R-E. Closure property. So you are going to take 3 variables. If you are saying the letters, you have to say as variables. What is that? Variables. I will write again. Okay. A and B are variables. C is also a variable. A is a whole number, comma B is a whole number. Then the sum of 2 whole numbers is also the result is also a whole number. Then the property satisfies. Therefore, addition is closed and closure property satisfied under closure property. Can you understand? A comma B is a whole number. Then the sum of two whole numbers. These two is a sum, right? So sum of two whole numbers. C is also a whole number. Then addition is satisfied under closure property. That is a conclusion. Addition is satisfied under closure property. Now the same thing we are going to see for subtraction. Okay. A minus B. A minus B is equal to C. A, B, C. Three letters or variables. Three variables we have taken. The difference of A and B, the difference should be a whole number. If it is a whole number, then subtraction is satisfied under closure property. If it is not a whole number, subtraction is not satisfied under whole number. Okay, can you understand? Now let us see. A comma B is a whole number. Then the difference C is also a whole number. If it is satisfied only, this is possible. Now let us see an example. A is equal to, let us take the same example, 11. B is equal to 2. Okay. So A minus B is equal to C. 11 minus 2 is equal to 9. Here it is satisfied. Let us take the difference like this. Let us take A 2 and B 11. A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 11. Now what will happen? A minus B is equal to C, right? So A 2 minus 11 is equal to what? See the greater number 11. Before 11 what is the symbol? Minus, write the symbol. What is the difference of 11 and 2? 9. See how, again I will tell you. 2 minus 11 you are going to write. What is the symbol before bigger number? It is minus, or yeah, I have written minus. What is the difference of 11 and 2? It is 9. So minus 9. Is minus 9 a whole number? What is minus 9 actually? It is an integer. Negative number, 0 and all positive numbers will come under integer. So minus 9 is an integer. It is not a whole number. So what happened to us? It is not satisfying. So subtraction is not closed. It is not satisfying the closure property. Can you understand? Addition, whatever, if you interchange the numbers also, your C will be a whole number. But in subtraction I have got it is negative. So negative number is not a whole number. It is an integer. So subtraction is not satisfied under closure property. Okay. Let us go on to multiplication. Same way, let us take an example. Directly we will take example. A, B, C is a variable. If the sum of multiplication, the product of two numbers is whole number, then the multiplication is satisfied under closure property. If it is not a whole number, it is not satisfied under closure property. Okay, let us take 11. Again, A is equal to 11, B is equal to 2. So 11 into 2 is equal to 22. Yes, even if I interchange, I get the positive number, means a whole number only. Why in subtraction I have got negative number? Because I have changed the numbers. Bigger number first, smaller number second, it will be a positive number. If smaller number is first and the bigger number is second, then you will get negative number. Obviously, it will not satisfy the closure property, right? But here in this case, wherever if you interchange the numbers, you are not going to get any negative symbol. So addition and multiplication, it will be satisfying the closure property. If you give any number, it will satisfy the closure property. Whereas subtraction and division will not satisfy the closure property. Can you understand? So A, B, I have taken one number, I have multiplied and I have got only the whole number. So multiplication is satisfied under closure property. Now we will go for division. Okay. Before going for division, I will tell you one thing. What is A divided by 0? A divided by 0 is not defined. It is meaningless. A divided by 0 is not defined, which means meaningless. It has no meaning. Otherwise, 0 divided by A is equal to 0. This is define whatever number you are dividing by 0, it is 0. But any number divided by 0 is not defined, it is meaningless. These two should be in your mind always, okay? Now, and a divided by 1 is a. This is also important. These three things you have to keep in mind while doing division, okay? Now, a is a variable, b is a variable. If I divide both, I should get a whole number c. A is a whole number, b is a whole number. If I divide both, I should get a whole number c. If I am not getting a whole number, then what will happen? It will not satisfy the closure property. Can you understand? Okay. Now let me take again. A is equal to 11, b is equal to 2. So a divided by b is equal to c. This is what we have to satisfy, right? So 11 divided by 2 is equal to c. Whether 11 by 2 is a whole number. Even if you cancel these, you will get a decimal only, right? So how you will do a division? 11 divided by 2, 5 2s are 10, 1 reminder, you will keep point and you will have 0 here. So again 5 2s are 10, 0. So 5.5 is the answer for 11 by 2. It is a decimal one. And this 11 by 2, where did you see in this form? Fraction. Otherwise, in the first session I have told you one number, p by q form. It is rational number. P by q, comma q not equal to 0. This is a rational number. So it is not a whole number, right? So a, b is a whole number, but c is not a whole number. Therefore, division will not be satisfied under closure property. Again, I will tell you what is the spelling of closure property. C-L-O-S-U-R-E, closure property. Now, we have seen 4 things here. We have seen 4 things here. A plus b is equal to c. A is a whole number, b is a whole number. If I add 2, c is also a whole number. Therefore, it satisfies the closure property. A minus b is equal to c. A is a whole number, b is a whole number. But what did we get? C is not a whole number. We got it as an integer. So, it does not satisfy the closure property. A multiplied by b is equal to c. Again, a is a whole number, b is a whole number, but c is not a whole number. Sorry, c is a whole number, because here everything, wherever you change, the number will be positive only. So it is a whole number. It satisfies the closure property. And a divided by b is equal to c. Here a is a whole number, b is a whole number, but c is not a whole number because we got fraction, decimal and rational number. These three you will get here. So you will not have this as a whole number. Okay, so it is not satisfied. It does not satisfy the closure property. So are you clear about the closure property? What you are going to do at home is take this each and every basic operation you take. For addition, write 5 examples, solve by yourself. For subtraction, multiplication, division, for each basic operations take 5 examples, solve of your own. Give example for satisfying the closure property, give example for not satisfying the closure property in case of subtraction and division. Okay, so again I will tell you closure property, C-L-O-S-U-R-E, closure property. We have actually 4 properties: closure property, associative property, commutative property and distributive property. First one is closure property for 4 basic operations: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication and division. So everything we have dealt, we have seen examples also. Go home, solve many examples, then only you will get the clear idea of closure property. Okay. The next property, associative property, we will see in session 17. Thank you.